Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Miami Heat as they go up against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Looking at Minnesota, just one win over the last 7 games. They're not happy with how they're playing, looking to make amends tonight. So we're right around halfway through the season. Shaq, a lot of trade discussions happening. What are your keys to making a great deal?
Well, it depends on your goal. You want to win now? You want to win later? A combination of both? Does your analysis ever make changes out of emotion?
Well, acquiring players that fit your system. You have to have a system first. That's the key. And if your trade looks too good to be true, it probably is.
I meant to say, do your analysis, never make changes out of emotion.
Okay.
See, I was emotional when I was talking about it.
Well, I heard you. I understood it. I understood
All right.
You did?
Not really, but.
Me either. And now with the tip-off coming up shortly, it's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. It's Western Conference against the Eastern Conference here in Minnesota, where the Timberwolves will try to protect home court. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, sloppy play sabotage. I mean, they'll have to be much more focused this time around.
At this very early stage, we know players are still trying to gel with one another. But, Clark, just how much can a team really change between the start of the season and the end of the season?
Kevin, it can be a night and day change in some cases because of injuries or change in personnel. Those things can show up during the course of a long season to make teams look totally different. And I think the changes that transpire with teams are usually more pronounced with younger teams because you can actually sometimes see those guys get better and better from week to week.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Heat, Whiteside is out there with Adebayo. Then there's Oladipo, then it's Paul George, and it's Richardson in at the shooting guard position. Now, here is George. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. George against Holiday. And Oladipo kicks to George. For the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
At 6'10", George is really capable of dominating inside. I mean, defensively, you need to try to push him out of his comfort zone, get him out of that lane area.
Now here's Jones. And for Tyus Jones, 3 gold medals playing for the U.S. national team throughout high school. He was Minnesota's Mr. Basketball. A national title, Clark, in his lone season at Duke. I mean, this kid's already got a lot of hardware.
Yeah, he's got a cabinet full of hardware, and I think he's got a chance to develop into a really solid point guard in this league. Again, just 1 year of college, very early in his career. You got to give him time because he's shown that he can be a winner at the levels he's played at prior to the NBA.
He misses the free throw. And he sinks the second. Here's Oladipo coming off a solid outing against Indiana. Now the pass to Richardson. Deflects the pass. Oh, that's offensive interference. And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jones looking for an opening. Dishes it to Towns. Pass to Wiggins. Jones against George. Passes it to Adebayo. Here's Richardson. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Here's Wiggins. Paul George making his last shot. Pass to Towns. Another miss by Minnesota.
No other way to say it. Flat out bad defense. Didn't even contest the shot. Lucky for them, he misfired on it.
And George gets it to go.
And that's superb concentration. It takes a lot to distract George once he's got position inside.
It's stolen by Oladipo. Shoots from 12. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Now here's Jones. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Towns, the 18-footer, is right on the mark.
The inside-outside game of Towns, very solid. Not many big men can match him in that department.
And it's George finishing it off.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
The throw good, Paul George.
And Paul George, a terrific two-way player, an all-star, an all-NBA performer, and multiple all-defense selections.
Wiggins kicks to Beal. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Towns. And he banks in the layup.
You see right there, Towns invites contact. Unafraid of it, looking for it, and he's able to score through it.
And Paul George has made it a goal to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, he's got tremendous length and quickness, but really his pride at that end of the floor might matter even more. He just takes great pride in being a complete player.
Now, here's Richardson. Bradley Beal unable to get his shot to go. George against Beal. Now, here's George. Tight defense on him. Gets in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And this is why scouting is so important. You've got to be able to identify those role players who can complement what your team does.
You know what, Greg? Every team has guys that play different roles. As a matter of fact, most players in the league are role players. It's a matter of understanding your role and doing it well, because role players are just as important as the stars.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Valanciunas is checked in. Right side against Towns. Shot clock at 6. Wiggins kicks to Beal. Over George. Excellent D there from George. Miami leading by 8. The pass to Oladipo. Pass to Whiteside. In the corner, George with it. over Wiggins. And it's George missing. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for Minnesota. Wiggins outside. This is it to Valanciunas. Kicks it to Towns. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. And now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with Eric Spoelstra.
Well, Kevin, the crucial aspect in his mind is making things tough for them inside. He said they're a physical team, and they bring a lot of intensity. If we don't respond when they push us, we'll just get bullied all game. We're going to get down in the paint tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And the Heat making a change here. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Whiteside. Green comes in for Bam Adebayo. Kings checked in for Josh Richardson. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Oladipo. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Hammock. King against Beal. Outside Holiday. Over Wade. Holiday gets the bucket. Holiday's got his first 2 points of the night. Miami leading by 8. Poked away, taken away by Holiday. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
That free throw, no good. Obviously, the game is played with a more wide-open style now, Clark. Name a few old-school bigs who continue to make an impact.
Well, I like what Andre Drummond does. The big fella's a glass-eating machine. Still needs to refine his moves and shooting touch, but his athleticism and rebounding off the charts. Blake Griffin stands out as well. Highly skilled, very, very athletic. Steven Adams, obviously a big guy who plays an old school game, rim protector, finisher, good hands, great strength. Dwight Howard, you know, he's on the backside of his career, but you think about what he was able to do in his prime as a shot blocker, rebounder, finisher. He's got some old school qualities as well.
Timberwolves trail by 7. Beal deciding where to go with it. Valanciunas dishes to Wiggins. Got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You take a look at the 76ers. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And checking out Miami, 2.5 games back.
And you know, for the Heat, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
Now here is Holiday. Against Phoenix, he was really on his game. And Beal kicks to Towns. Pass to Holiday. 5 to shoot. And it's Valanciunas that time on the assist by Holiday. Valanciunas has got his first bucket in this one. Miami leading by 5. Inside, Towns with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Beal's running. Can't hit from in close.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's George over Wiggins. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. George has got 15 points.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Now here's Towns, another key contributor to that nice win against Phoenix. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. And now you see the 2K leaderboard. Not only have these teams caused a lot of turnovers over the last 10 games, but they've scored off them as well. The Heat third.
I mean, they've gotten a little more aggressive defensively. You can become a more confident team on that end, and so much of it, I think, has to do with forcing turnovers and creating offense. How about the inbound pass there. Easy bucket.
Miami leading by 5. George passes to Nurkic. Wade on the wing, guarded by Holiday. Wade against Holiday. And the rejection by Valanciunas.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Now here's Wiggins. 14 points from him the last game against the Suns in Phoenix. 6 to shoot. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And now just a 3-point Heat lead.
Boy, Wiggins does it in so many different ways, Kevin, and that scoring versatility of his, that's special. This time he got it done in the painted area.
King against Valanciunas. King outside, looking for George. He gets it, hammers the alley-oop through.
I tell you what, mind-blowing experience when you look at Paul George as a dunker. This guy makes alley-oops look easy.
And the Timberwolves call time here. And a new group in for the Heat. Whiteside's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Bam Adebayo comes in for JaMychal Green. Winslow's checked in for George. And it's Oladipo in for Dwayne Wade. Now here's Valanciunas. 8 points his last outing. And the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. That is his first foul of the game. Miami on defense. It's a 5-point game. Okogie.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of activity chasing down their misses. Some teams focus on getting back. I understand that. But you should send at least one guy after them.
Oladipo against Jones. 5 to shoot. And there's the bucket from Victor Oladipo. And now a 7-point Miami lead. Jones kicks to Valanciunas. Back to Jones. He feeds it to Brown. He gets it in there.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Miami leading by 5. King, the pass to Winslow. To King. Over Brown. King, that's good. King's got his first points of the game.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Now, here's Brown. And 1:01 left here in the first quarter. Here's Valanciunas, and it's blocked by Whiteside.
And Whiteside takes great pride in rejecting shots. Outstanding at getting his arms up and denying shooters.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Yeah, that's tremendous efficiency there. I mean, you like seeing them put together these types of plays.
Now here's Jones. The dish to Valanciunas. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
There's Winslow. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Oladipo misses. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Oladipo against Jones. Poke loose. Pulls up. High post. It's good. And now just a 5-point Heat lead.
All right, he's got to quit while he's ahead. He got away with it there, but the crossover usually gets him into a bit of trouble.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Miami. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. Back to the action after this word. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
They also haven't been afraid to take it strong to the hoop early on tonight. I like that.
Now, here's Wade. He's coming off a 10-point game against Indiana. On the court for Miami here in the second. Adebayo is out there with Justice Winslow. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. Then it's King. And it's Wade in at the one. Nurkic can't hit. And it's Jones with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trailing by 5. And that one is good.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And the pass to Winslow. Pass to Adebayo. And he uses the glass on the layup. Adebayo's got his first basket of the night.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That's his first foul. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Down kicks to Jones. Passes it to Valanciunas. 6 on the shot clock. 13 feet away. And that one hits back iron. The Heat leading by 5. King, the pass to Wade. It's stolen by Jones. With it, Wade picks him up. Okogie, good.
D was all over it. He just couldn't react in time to stop that quick reverse.
Now Wade, he's still scoreless so far in this one. King against Brown. The shot by Wade, wide open. Good on the triple. And the Heat lead by 6.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger.
Now here's Valanciunas. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Okogie, covered by Winslow, 4 on the shot clock. Here's Brown, and the wing jumper offline. The Heat leading by 6. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Wade for 3, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wade. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz. Then on Wednesday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And that matchup against the Hornets, they won't have much room for error in that one. A team like this will punish mistakes, but I could see them walking away with this one.
Here's Bates Diop. He had 16 points in the win against Phoenix. Okogie, he's guarded by Nurkic. The Heat have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Winslow wide open. He fires. It's hauled in by Bates Diop. And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Here's Jones. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Pass to Bates-Diop. Clock at 6. Here's Valanciunas.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. Brown against King, and he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
And a brief check of the stats for Nurkic. He's one of the standouts over the last month. He's averaging 10 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And I think he's got to be pretty pleased with his output. And you know he's always looking to push himself.
Yeah, really solid numbers across the board here, Greg. I mean, he contributes in a multitude of ways for this club.
Okogie, covered by Winslow. From deep. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Let's take a brief moment to look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's feistiest defensive teams. Number 1, the Heat.
And it's no accident to see them at that top spot, guys. I mean, great awareness and anticipation. They apply a ton of pressure defensively.
And a new group getting ready for Miami. JaMychal Green, he's checked in for Adebayo. Paul George comes in for Justice Winslow. Josh Richardson's checked in for King. And it's Victor Oladipo in for Dwayne Wade. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Clark, when you played, you were dominant inside. Are you surprised at how perimeter-oriented the game now has evolved into?
No, not really, Kevin, because of the three-point line and what it means. The game was created as a game of putting the ball in the basket. Initially, it was by getting the ball as close as you could to the basket with big guys or drives, and now with the three-point line, the shooting has become a premium, and it's really one of the great elements of the game for me, and I love the way folks are playing it now.
Defensive rules have sure made a big difference in this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, great point.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Trying to employ physical defense against Wiggins, but this young man powers right through it. Very impressive.
Towns with the steal. Beal against Richardson. The pass to Bates-Diop. He kicks to Towns. Holiday looking for an opening. 6 to shoot. Wiggins from outside buries the long-range jumper. And it's now only a 1-point Heat lead.
Nice fluid motion off the catch there, Kevin. I mean, Wiggins becoming a dangerous jump shooter.
Outside, Green. Up top, Oladipo. Nurkic trying to get open. Tries again. And he banks in the layup. Nurkic has got his first points of the game.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
Now here is Holiday. He has 5. On the wing, Wiggins, defended by George. Shoots from 14, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. 9 points for Andrew Wiggins.
And started hot, and he's only gotten harder.
Pass to Richardson. Kicks to Nurkic. Oladipo outside. Offline with his 3.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Boy, that's some hard work being done inside by Oladipo, earning a trip to the line with his physicality in the paint.
And for Victor Oladipo, for so many teams, he was the second option in offense. But now, Clark, he's shown he is a full-fledged number 1 option.
And you know the thing about that, Kevin, that's really heartening is his teammates love him being in that spot. And that speaks to Oladipo's unselfishness and character. I mean, Russell Westbrook and Aaron Gordon both had great things to say about Oladipo's success leading the team. Again, just a credit to who he is as a young man.
And you can feel that Oladipo was on the verge of a breakthrough, and boy, did he ever. Everything came together for him, and he is now not only an elite scorer, but an all-star. Can attack from any distance and has a variety of ways to hurt the defense.
Oladipo hits them both. And for Oladipo, Greg, there wasn't just one moment that gave him that push.
I mean, his development was less of having a eureka moment and more of everything just coming together. Has always had the strong athleticism, has refined his shot to make the most of it, and while it took him some time, he's now the player everyone hoped he'd be when he was a second overall pick.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Miami called for the foul.
And, you know, that's going to be free throws. I mean, the length and quickness of Wiggins forcing the defender's hand there.
This is his first free throw of the game. That one is off.
You know, you think about Wiggins, drafted #1 overall a few years ago. So many high expectations, and to be fair and honest, he's met most of them.
He doesn't get the second one. And for Jusuf Nurkic, you see the flashes of how dominant he can be in every game.
I mean, the potential is there, and he is working hard to find that consistency. I do believe he's noticeably better when he plays with an edge. He's more in tune with what's going on. You almost want to rile him up or do something to tick him off before every game to get the best out of him.
The wide open look here for Oladipo.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
And as Towns missing, Miami leading by 3. Richardson with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Feeds to Green. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of thing.
And so it's Beal. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Holiday finds Towns. Passes to Bates Diop. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Minnesota.
And they've been avoiding those deep threes. They're capable of knocking those shots down from long range, but so far they've really been reluctant to let it fly from that free throw line extended three-point shot.
The first free throw is good. So he gets them both.
Great touch from the line. Always important for bigger guys to be able to come through at the strike.
Oladipo dishes to George. Back to Oladipo. George up top. Covered by Wiggins. 13 feet away. No good that time. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. To the paint. And he goes in for the dunk.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
And here are the Heat now after the basket by Minnesota. And that one's good, George.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Minnesota calls timeout. Paul George really making a difference here.
I think that's a critical timeout too, Kevin. I mean, they need to find a way to slow him down, shut him down, because he's tearing them apart right now.
Whiteside's checked in for Miami. Bam Adebayo comes in for Green. Timberwolves trail by 3. And Holiday kicks to Towns. That's a bucket. His third of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
We know he can score from outside, too, but close to the hoop is where Towns makes his living.
Pass to Richardson. And there's the pass to George. Shoots over Beal. A nice shot by George. George has got 21 in the game.
Boy, when George is this aggressive with his offense, it's a sight to behold when he gets rolling. Just get out of the way and let him have the marquee.
Miami's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Here's Adebayo, guarded by Holiday. Here's Whiteside, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Heat lead by 3.
You got to D him up better than that. I mean, when he's got a smaller guy on him inside, that's dinner. Barbecue chicken.
That sounds good. I love that. Now here's Towns. He has 6. The feed now to Wiggins. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
I guess Towns got a little bit of point guard in it. The big fella with a beautiful dime right there.
For Miami, they've gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. Up again. Timberwolves trail by 3. And here's Holiday. 5 points in the game. 1:43 left in the first half of basketball.
Boy, the defense had gone to sleep, so you got to knock that one down.
Oladipo against Beal. Now, here's Oladipo. Not a lot of room. 6 on the shot clock. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for Wiggins. He's putting up about 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes natural.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
The putback, and it's Towns on the follow.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And stolen by Wiggins. Outside, Beal goes up on the wing. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And the Timberwolves lead by 1. Heat have gone 8 of 15 since we began the second quarter. Excellent shooting. And Oladipo kicks to Adebayo.
And 2 for 1. That's what they'd like to get right now.
That would be ideal, and that's exactly what they'll try to do. They don't need to rush it, just need to get a quality shot, and quickly.
Now, here's George. To the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Holiday against Oladipo. Here's Whiteside, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Bradley Beal picks one up.
You know, guys, you got to give much respect to the length of Whiteside. I mean, he's a hulking 7-footer who takes a lot of pride in being the defensive anchor for this team.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good from Whiteside. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for the Timberwolves. They trail by 1. He kicks it to Towns. with 4 seconds on the clock. Doesn't go that time. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Heat lead by 1. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Here with Andrew Wiggins. Andrew, for you personally, a great first half. You really got to the rim a lot of times. What are you seeing out there?
Just a mindset to attack the rim early, try to mark my presence.
We certainly saw you in the first half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
I was super impressed with their shot selection. I think that was part of the strategy coming in. They wanted to be patient with the basketball, move it around, and get high percentage looks. Obviously, that's going to be big.
Shaq, what'd you think about Minnesota?
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. They can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin Cities. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
And as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. They've got Bradley Beal. Wiggins is out there with Towns. Then it's Holiday. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Back to Oladipo. Beal with the steal. Okogie. And the basket is good. And he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he buried a bunch of shots from the stripe in that last game.
And one look at the box score will confirm that.
One shot.
And with those numbers, he makes a defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line.
And that one misses.
And what a story for Hassan Whiteside. A second-round pick back in 2011. He's bounced around. I mean, the G League, China. He even played over in Lebanon. It wasn't until 2015 that he emerged seemingly out of nowhere as a factor for the Miami Heat.
And Whiteside in 2016 receiving a 4-year max contract break from the Heat.
Amazing how far he's come. Set the franchise record for most blocks in a game. And pretty impressive when you think of the big men who've played for the Heat. We're talking Lonzo Mourning and Shaquille O'Neal, no less.
Shoot 2.
First one falls for him. He's perfect from the line this time. The Heat trail by 3. Left side, George shoots over Beal. Here's Whiteside. It's scrambled reined in by Whiteside.
Yeah, and the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
Now here's Towns to the inside. And it's Wiggins missing.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses. Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score.
And Holiday kicks to Beal. Pass to Towns. Over Whiteside, and Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 10 points in the game.
Entering the league already with a good jump shot, Towns has improved his leg strength. That gives him even more consistency on that J of his.
Now here's Richardson. That's tipped. Beal against George. Beal drives in, and yes, it's good. Beal's got the lead up to 3 now for Minnesota.
And scoring the ball comes easily and naturally to him. He's a versatile player at the offensive end.
Now here's Richardson. Tries it from 9. The shot by Adebayo, no good.
The defense was far from awful. However, he's still got to make these shots, in my opinion.
Wiggins surveying the floor. Clock at 6. The shot, no good.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Controlling the perimeter well. Didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
Here's Holiday. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Down low, here's Richardson. Good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist. Oladipo's got 4 assists now tonight. And the Timberwolves call time here.
Check out the stats for Paul George. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. First in steals, 16th in scoring, and he's among the top 20 players in three-point field goal percentage. He has been locked and loaded from beyond.
And as you said, #1 in steals this season. He's the sneakiest ball hawk in the league right now. Hide everything you've got because he's coming after you. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Guys, Hassan Whiteside continues to develop. Now, Miami coach Eric Spoelstra said it's got nothing to do with his stats. He's going to do that no matter what. It's about making winning plays and caring more about his teammates than he cares about himself. Now he can lead in a different way because he has the respect of the locker room. Kevin?
Terrific, D.A. Thank you. Al Richardson following the three-point attempt by Andrew Wiggins. Richardson the pass to Oladipo. Only one man back on D. A three-pointer, Wiggins. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Miami trailing. And so Miami again turning it over. And here's the upcoming schedule now for the Miami Heat. On Sunday, they're off to Charlotte to face off with the Hornets. And then on Monday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons.
And for that matchup with the Thunder, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
Now Towns. Following the three-point attempt by Andrew Wiggins, Towns finds Holiday. Shot clock at 6. Outside for Beal. Another miss by Minnesota. And here's Oladipo. He'll bring it up for Miami. It's off to Charlotte for him after this game as they take on the Hornets. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. For the lead, the shot by George, no good. Minnesota in the lead. Outside, Beal. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns dishes to Wiggins. George against Beal. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Beal's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
And Kevin, they've been committing a lot of turnovers here. Taking care of the basketball is the #1 priority right now in that huddle. They've got to tighten it up.
Valanciunas, who's checked in for Minnesota. The Heat also changing it up. Nurkic checked in for Adebayo. King comes in for Josh Richardson. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for Oladipo. Passes it to George. The shot comes out. Wiggins with some nice D.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Boy, the defense was great. Superb, stellar, platinum level. Can't really contest that shot any better than that.
George passes to Whiteside. And the jam by Whiteside.
Yes, and how about the unselfishness? Paul George has no problem sharing the ball.
To the middle. Here's Towns. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got his 4th assist in this one. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And George kicks to Wade. Pass to King. A 3-ball. Here's Nurkic. Another shot. Count that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Whiteside.
And, you know, that's good offense there. These are the shots you want to get all the time.
Now here is Holiday. He has 5.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
And Nurkic gets it to go.
And that's what we're used to him doing, but he really just hasn't had that typical impact offensively. If they keep getting him touches, this game won't be tied for long.
King against Beal. Left side, Towns. On the wing, Wiggins. Wiggins drawn the double team. Latrey. And Towns, the bucket on the assist by Wiggins. 15 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Now Whiteside. He's got 10. Here's Nurkic. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Wiggins finds Holiday and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
I'll tell you what, Wade's one of the best in the history of the game as a shot blocker from the 2-guard position, using his athleticism to leap up and turn shots away.
Now here's Wade. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Here's Beal. Outside Holiday. Valanciunas passes to Towns. Those 3-pointers off the mark.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
Whiteside, good. Whiteside's got 8 points in the quarter. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end.
Now here's Wiggins. He's got 15. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Showing determination inside. Towns absorbs the contact and gets the whistle.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Miami.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint at all in this game. They have been the aggressors.
They've worked hard to get the ball into the low post tonight as well, and it's paid off.
The free throw drops for Towns.
Well, you try to look for weaknesses in Towns' game, but really not much there to speak of, particularly at the foul line, where he's been terrific.
Both good from the line that time.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Wade against Holiday. Wade right side. Here's the floater. Goes back up. And the rejection by Towns.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And Holiday kicks to Valanciunas. Second chance shot. No good that time. Great D that time from Nurkic.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And Greg, it's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Now here's Wade. He has 5. Outside Beal. Higgins outside. And Valanciunas kicks to Beal. From deep three-point range. And the rebound by Nurkic.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
That certainly was a deep one. I mean, maybe move in a little bit next time. There's no such thing as a 4-point line.
Neither side has relented a bit in this back-and-forth affair.
And you can sense the energy in the building already as this game is starting to build towards having a terrific finish.
And that was an Unleashed Chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. To the inside.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down.
Well, I tell you what, that's the play we'll remember if they can put together a little surge to break this game open.
Wade against Holiday. Takes it to Towns. Over Whiteside. Towns, no luck.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Trains the three-pointer.
And, you know, guys, Wade is a terrific teammate, always willing to give up the ball and share the sugar, if you will, especially when his teammate is wide open.
Now here's Beal. He's got 7. That bucket in no time at all. Beal's got 9 points.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Wade finds George. George double-teamed. Here's King. They get it back. Whiteside. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Whiteside's got 10 points in the quarter. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Outside Holiday. The pass to Towns. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Nice recognition by Towns there. I mean, catches the defender out of position and then sails the foul call.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
Matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. And, guys, I think that's a tribute to his work ethic. I mean, it's not by accident that he's enjoying the success he is at the free throw line.
The free throw drops for Towns. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And Towns drops them both. Oladipo for three, and the last shot before the buzzer is off. The third quarter comes to a close. Miami ahead. They're up by 4. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. On the court for the Heat, Adebayo is out there with Nurkic, and it's Justice Winslow, then it's King, and it's Wade in at the 1 spot. The Heat leading by 4. King, right side. He feeds it to Wade. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
I don't think they have anybody to blame but themselves there. I mean, that's just inexcusable to let a guy get this deep inside.
Okogie. Miami grabs the miss. They've led by as much as 10. To the inside. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Here's Jones. He dishes it to Valanciunas. Outside, Jones. Pass to Bates Diop. 5 to shoot. The 3. And it's King with the rebound. And Miami shooting has just been outstanding tonight. 56% as a team in this game. Wade passes to Adebayo. Feeds it to Nurkic. No good off the back of the rim.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And Valanciunas kicks to Brown. Back to Valanciunas. Brown outside. Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Another miss by Minnesota. King against Brown. King outside. And he drops in the layup off the glass. King's got 4 points this quarter.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Yeah, he's clicking right now, and at the right time too, Greg. I mean, playing with a bunch of confidence in this fourth quarter.
Here's Bates Diop. He kicks it to Brown. Pass to Bates Diop. And good. He nails it. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Pass to Adebayo. 13 feet away. Rebound Minnesota. Valanciunas has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Got a piece of it. King with the steal. Winslow with it. Dishes it to Wade. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Nurkic against Valanciunas. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
free throw, no good for Nurkic. Timberwolves trail by 8 to the paint. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Jones finds Valanciunas. Here's Bates Diop. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
Two shots.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
You don't see him have too many of those trips to the line.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. The first one at the line is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Okogie, Wade is covered. Valanciunas against Nurkic. 6 on the shot clock. 8 away. And with that, the Heat lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Valanciunas.
Now that's an old school move right there. A good one, too, the fadeaway.
Now here's King. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And he makes the first. Both teams will make substitutions. And so he makes both from the line.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
Now here's Brown. Outside, Towns. The dish to Wiggins. Knocked loose. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. A different look for Miami. Whiteside's checked in for Adebayo. Paul George comes in for Justice Winslow, and it's Victor Oladipo in for King. Fires top of the key. Beal can't get it to go.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now, here's Oladipo. Kicks it to Whiteside. Yes, that goes in. Whiteside's got 12 points here in the second half.
Man, he's got a lot of firepower right now. I mean, what a half he's having.
Beal, the pass to Brown. Now Towns. Richardson covering. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Wiggins, and it's blocked by Whiteside.
And they're not creating as many open looks now as they did in the first half. They've got to get sharper at the offensive end if they hope to bounce back in this game.
Now here is George. Towns with the steal. Beal, that's for 2. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And here are the Heat. They're on a 12-4 run. George. And it's good off the back rim and in. George has got 25 points.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, definitely on the roll right now. Seems like everything he's throwing up is going down.
Now here's Towns. Sinks that one from the post. He's got 21.
That's just a difficult assignment. I mean, having to guard Towns in that area, he's always going to find a way to get his shot off cleanly.
Richardson kicks to George. He doesn't hit that one. And Minnesota now the other way. To the middle. Here's Wiggins. The shot that time, not on target. Good work defensively by Whiteside. Oladipo against Jones. And Oladipo, here we go. Wiggins with the block.
Great read that time by Wiggins, anticipating the shot. Sends it out with return to sender postage.
Jones, the pass to Brown. 6 to shoot. Outside for Beal. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Richardson against Brown. Richardson dishes to Nurkic. And here's Oladipo. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Tyus Jones.
And, you know, Oladipo is one of those multifaceted players. I mean, he can do just about anything you ask of him when he's on the court.
That's good from Oladipo. Well, Clark, some G League salaries on the rise due to two-way contracts.
Yeah, and I think some of it is a function, Kevin, of the league's prosperity and success as revenues continue to grow. But I don't think it's a handout. I mean, when these guys get called up to the NBA, they've got to continue to be ready to produce and contribute, because at the end of the day, it's about production if you're going to make your way into the NBA.
And it's Jones with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's a 14-point game. And the pass to Towns. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Yusuf Nurkic.
Shooting for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns. 2 shots.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
First free throw is good. And Towns drops them both. Timeout called the Heat. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address the team. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Evan?
The shot by George, no good. Timberwolves trail by 14. And the call will be against Jusuf Nurkic. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Holiday comes in for Jones.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Now here's Valanciunas, and the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. That will be foul number 5 on him. Miami on defense. Timberwolves passing it around. Wiggins outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. A three-pointer is right on target.
And you know, Holiday has a gorgeous touch from outside. He's a deadly shooter, an absolute laser when you give him space to fire.
Beal against Richardson. Now, here's Whiteside. He's guarded closely. 7 for 9 now with that miss. Now shooting 78% from the floor. Wiggins drives in. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Boy, what a strong finisher Wiggins is. Try to get physical with him, and he powers right through you. One shot.
Free throw good. Wiggins. Well, Heat leading by 8. Oladipo taking his time here. George against Wiggins. Now, here's George. Defense is right there. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Whiteside. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Now here's Towns. Towns is doubled. Beal from long range. Miami grabs the miss. They've led by as many as 14 points. Oladipo against Holiday. Now here's Oladipo. He's covered closely. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Oladipo against Holiday. Down low. Here's Towns. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Towns has got 17 now, just in the second half.
Yeah, Towns has given them a huge injection of scoring tonight. A fearless, aggressive performance from the big fella.
And George kicks to Richardson. Back to George. And stolen by Wiggins. Outside Holiday. Goes to Towns. Fires for three. Doesn't go for him. They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
Oladipo finds Richardson. Right side against Towns. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. And it's Beal in the corner. The three. No good that time. And the Heat going the other way now. 27 seconds left in the fourth. Richardson against Beal. Now here's Richardson. Guarded closer. Great D that time from Beal. In the corner, it's Wiggins. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And so it's the Heat winning this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.